Welcome to day 19 of 30 Days of Yoga with Jesslyn. Today we're going to start down on our mats, so grab any props that you might need and I'll meet you there. Alright, so I hope you're seated comfortably on your mat now. I've got a blanket up underneath my bum today to kind of give me a little bit of a lift. Today's practice I'm going to show you how to use your props appropriately. So that's why I said that I wanted you to make sure you had any props that you have handy, blocks, books, towels, blankets, a strap, whatever it might be. I know sometimes on the past videos I've actually mentioned, use a block here, use a strap here, and not necessarily had them handy to show you, but today I'm going to actually go through and show them to you. Iyengar is the father of the props. He's the yogi that started all, having props handy and available, just helping people get a little bit deeper into the pose, holding the poses a little bit longer, knowing that everybody is not as flexible as he was. So really, use the props as you need to. Some styles of yoga don't allow you to use the props, but I believe that if you need the props and it's going to help you go a little bit further in your practice, then you should be using them. So I'm sitting up nice and tall on my blanket today. My shoulders are directly over top of my hips. My pelvis is tilted slightly forward. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose, raising my arms up over my head. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart and go all the way past, and then really push your palms together, the fingertips together, and just let's warm up our wrists a little bit. And then we're going to inhale again. Exhale, pushing all the way through and down. Good. One more time. Inhale, exhale, pushing all the way through, really opening up our wrists a little bit here. Good. Next, we're going to take our hands behind. Inhale, lift the chest. Deep breath. And let's take our clasped hands over to our left hip. Pull that left elbow back. Looking over our right shoulder and down. Really stretching out. You should feel that in the back of the neck. You should feel that in your left shoulder and tricep. Feel it in your right shoulder. Breathing deeply here. Inhale, coming back up. And stretch it out towards the back. Bring your clasped hands to your right hip or in your waist area. Pulling that right elbow back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, look over to the left and then slightly down. Really trying to stretch out our neck. It's not something that we stretch out very often, but it's very important, especially with most of us that sit at our desks during the day looking at a computer. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release your arms. Good. Roll your shoulders. Good. Let's inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. And continue with your breath for a few more. Good. We'll do one more. Up on the inhale and then back to neutral on the exhale. Now let's look over each shoulder. So we're going to exhale, look left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. And again, just go with your breath. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale gets you looking over your shoulder. One more each way. Good. Bringing it back to center. Take your right hand, place it over the top of the left side of your head towards your ear. Exhale, pulling your head gently down towards your right shoulder. Continue to breathe. And release. Let's do it on the other side. Right hand over towards your left ear, gently towards your left shoulder. Excellent. Inhale, come Let's do a twist and then a forward, seated forward fold, and then we'll go into our workout today. Left hand to right knee, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, look over our left shoulder, or our right shoulder towards the back. Continue to breathe. Just doing a slow warm up today. Come all the way back around, right hand to left knee, looking over your left shoulder. Good. Let's place our hands behind us, fingertips away. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, start to come forward. Now, if you're up on a blanket like me, just be careful that your hips don't lift off the ground. Your sits bones should stay grounded. Coming forward, lengthening on the inhale. Going a little deeper on the exhale. One more deep breath here. Good. Release. Inhale, coming up. Excellent. So let's come off of our blankets now. And just again, place it just in case we decide we're going to use it. So coming into tabletop pose on all fours, we're going to do balancing table. So inhale, right arm goes out, left leg comes out. And hold it there. Really engage your abdomen. And release. Let's do that on the other side. Right, left arm and right leg. Really grounding in your palm, lifting from your shoulder, lifting at your hip. Breathing deeply. And release. Now let's do our cat-cow stretch, but let's just kind of make it a little bit more fluid today. Really just kind of go with the flow with this today. Inhale, you can lift your chest and your chin. Exhale, you can tuck your tailbone, and then you can just kind of swirl around, whatever you feel your spine needs to warm up. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. Just trying to warm up your spine and just keep breathing. So you can just go around in hip circles if you want. Going from one direction to the other. You can go up and down with the spine. You can twist from side to side with your spine. Just really trying to warm it all up. There's no wrong movement as long as it's not painful. Just continue to breathe. Good. Now this is going to be the first one where we're going to use our strap. So I want you to make sure you have your strap or your scarf. I'm lucky I've got a strap that actually has a little loop on it. If yours doesn't, that's okay. You can just kind of loop the strap around your foot. But what we're going to try and do today, and only if you're ready, I want you to try and do this. So we did the balancing table. And so without the strap, if you can grab your foot, opposite leg, then you can go into your regular lift. If you're, however, having difficulty reaching back, you can place the strap around your foot, crossing it over your opposite shoulder. And so when you lift, you can lift up and go into a nice back bend here. You can even lift it. If you can't reach the foot, you can grab the strap as close to as you want and bringing it in, bringing it up. But that's one way you could use the strap to go into a pose that otherwise you may not be able to reach that foot and do it. So let's switch sides and do the other side now. And again, if you can reach your foot without it, you go right ahead. But if you are having some trouble, use the strap there. So you're going to come back into your table pose. You're going to lift that right foot. You're going to lift. And you might even just be able to bring yourself into a nicer curve. Or as I said before, you can reach back if you're close but not quite there. Use the strap to help lift. This one takes quite a bit of balance, so again, it might be something that you struggle with a little bit. You got to work your way up to, but doing the balancing table and then even just kind of bending and reaching, you can come up and do that. So let's drop it back down, unhook the strap. Good, now let's come up into our downward facing dog. So tuck our toes under, inhale, lift our bum up towards the sky, and make sure that we're grounding our heels towards the ground, really placing our palms firmly into the floor, breathing deeply, trying to bring our forehead towards the floor with a nice long spine. Your tailbone should be tilted up towards the ceiling. Good, let's come forward into our plank pose and hold it here for a few breaths. And again, trying to bring your bum down so that your shoulders, bum, and heels are in a nice straight line. Engage the core. So if this is too much to hold here, you can drop down to your knees. But notice how what I did, nothing really changed except my knees coming to the floor. Everything stayed in nice alignment. Now we're going to do side plank here. So again, you can use that dropped knee to roll over onto the side and hold it there, really engaging your oblique muscles, pushing into that bottom hand, lifting the shoulder, and then coming back to center. And then we can do that on the other side. Again, rolling up, rolling open, lifting, and coming back to center. Now I'm going to show you a little bit more of an intermediate move if you want to try again with the strap. Hopefully I can do it today. So what you want to do is again place the strap around. Let's start with the right foot. So we're in our plank position here, nice and lifted and long. We've got our strap so that we can grab onto it. So you're going to roll onto your side whether your knee is down or not, and then you can slowly start to lift that leg for a nice inner thigh workout. You're really feeling it. And if you can drop the strap and do it on your own, that's great. And then coming back down, you can switch sides. Rolling over, again making sure the strap is where you can reach it for when you come up into your plank. Roll to the side, and then lift up. Remember to keep breathing, don't hold your breath. And releasing it down. Good, release the strap. Again, placing it where you can hold, where you can find it again, coming back up into your downward facing dog. Let's take our right heel, open it up, step forward with our left foot. And this is where you're going to want to have your blocks handy. I'm going to show you how to do your pyramid pose and triangle pose with your blocks. So let's start with pyramid pose. Our hips are pointing towards the short side of our mat. And we're going to straighten the front leg, straighten the back leg. So normally we've come from our warrior one, and then we straighten that leg, clasp our hands behind. You've seen us do this before. Coming forward, holding it here, and then coming down into our pyramid. So now we've got our blocks here, so we can have them so that they're tall, and if you want to hold on to them here. And again, making sure your hips are square, bringing this back foot hip so that it comes forward, and the front foot hip pushes back. Good, that spine can stay long, and as you get better, you can slowly start to bend your elbows. You can slowly come down to the short side of your block. You can come down even a little bit further before you can come down to your foot and then the floor. So again, you're just progressing down to each stage here. Good. To come out, you want to bend your front knee. We're going to go right into our triangle. So again, we'll move one block out of the way, have one here. Open up that back foot, coming all the way up into our warrior two now. So you may have to widen your stance slightly into our warrior two. Knee over ankle, you can see that big toe when you look down. Back leg nice and straight, looking over the front hand. Good, let's inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reaching forward. So tipping into our triangle pose now. Bringing our palm to the back of the back of our hand, to the inside of our shin or our calf. This arm reaches straight up, so there's a nice line from these fingers down to these fingers, and that's where this block can come in handy. Some people find it very difficult to place that hand. They just don't have maybe the control in their abdomen to be able to hold it there. That's where the block can come into handy. I don't want you pushing up on the block too hard though. I don't want you to put too much pressure. I want you to just be resting your hand on the block. Lifting, you're really wanting to lift in both sides of your ribs, not collapsing in that bottom rib. So this is where the block can come in handy. And again, start tall, slowly working your way down to wherever you're comfortable. Good. One more deep breath. And bend that front knee, slowly come back up into our warrior two. Let's switch to the other side now. So put the block towards your opposite foot. Let's turn the left foot in, open up the right foot, and coming into our warrior one with our right foot facing forward now. Inhale into our warrior one. Good. Arms coming back. Lifting that chest as we slowly start to come down. Straightening out that front leg, facing our hips towards the front, and then slowly starting to come down. And again, we can use our block. My other block got away from me there, but you understand now that I have a block on either side. And again, wherever you're comfortable, putting a slight bend in that front knee so that you're not having any pressure on the back of that knee. Bringing that back hip forward and pushing the front hip back. Keeping that back heel grounded. It wants to lift, it wants to turn. You just want to keep it grounded. We'll hold it for one more breath in whatever position you're in. Good. Bend that front knee, slowly start to come up into our warrior two. Open up that back foot slightly wider if you want. Your hips are now open to the long side of your mat. Looking over that front middle finger. Knee is over the ankle. You can see that big toe. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reach forward, push the back hip back. Tilt your arms, placing the back of your hand on the inside of your calf or shin. And again, having your block handy if you need to use it. And by using the block too, you can really start to practice lifting in those rib cages, really to make sure that both sides are lifted. Excellent. We'll hold it for one more breath here. Good. Now, instead of coming right out of it, I'm going to show you that half moon pose that we did last week, where we were coming up. So you're going to stay with your hip open. You're going to put the block now probably about a foot in front of your head as you come up. And slowly reach your arm up, and this is where that block comes in handy for our half moon. And it really lets you open up your hip stacked on top. You can hold onto your hip if you find that's easier. You can open the hand up, looking forward, looking down, but it really allows you to open up nicely. Bend your knee and slowly dropping your foot back down. Let's switch it to the other side. Bringing that back foot in now. Pointing that left foot towards the block as it comes out in front of you. Slowly coming up on to your toe. Reach your arm up in the air and begin to lift that back leg into your nice half moon. Really rotating your hip open. Good. Keep breathing here. Again, lifting with both sides of the rib cage. You might have to adjust your block slightly, but really lifting. And again, same thing as before. Hopefully I won't fall doing this. You can come down a little bit lower as you progress. Come down a little bit lower and slowly progress so that your hand eventually comes to the floor. Bend that front knee, start to come down. Let's put the block in front of us now. Coming into our 5-point star with our bent hips already. And again, there's the block, nice and handy for you. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, start to come down, using the block. So you can use the block. If this is as far as you can go, it's there for you. And then if we want to place the right hand down, left arm lifts. Nice twist. Let's switch to the other side. Left hand down, right arm up. Nice twist. And releasing it down. Good. Going one more breath, a little deeper as far as you can go. Good. Slowly heel toe your feet to come in. Let's bring it back down to the mat here. And use some of the props to come down onto our backs, onto our mat here. Rolling all the way back down. Good. Right. Now that we're on our backs, bend your knees and bring your heels as close as you can in towards your bum. And I'm going to show you that bridge pose again using the block. So as you inhale, you're going to lift your hips up, and then you can use the block right underneath your hips. And that can support you. And that really, again, just helps you get a little bit more lift, placing your hands flat. And then even from there, you can slowly start to lift yourself up a little bit and then relax back down. Really starting to strengthen your quads, your glutes, really pushing into your heels. It's a great exercise. It's a great back bend. And then again, same thing. As you get better, then you can just slowly start to remove the block, not needing it there. Really good to practice too if you want to do your leg lifts in that position, but you're afraid you might fall with only one being on one leg. You can have the block up underneath, and then you can slowly begin to lift one leg. And again, just resting just gently, not putting your full weight on the block, but it's there for your support. And the opposite side, lifting, holding, release. Good. Slowly rolling yourself back down. Coming back up to a seated position here, finding your strap. Let's do our forward fold with the strap. We've done this one before, taking the strap, placing it around the soles of your feet, lifting your chest nice and tall, and then as you exhale, hinge forward at the hips. If you need to pull the flesh away, makes it a little easier for that pelvis to tilt forward, you go right ahead. And then slowly start to bring yourself forward, keeping that spine long, chest lifted. Once you feel like you're in a comfortable position and that you're not putting any spine or any rounding in your spine, then you can slowly, in your lower spine. Good. Now that you're in this pose, and once you feel like you're not having any rounding in your lower spine, then you can slowly start to round your upper spine a little bit. If you need to help get yourself a little bit deeper into the pose, or just relax yourself into that pose. And the only reason I say that is that I don't want someone to try and get their forehead down towards their shins and then they've got a huge rounded spine. You want to be coming forward first, tilting that pelvis, and then you can round in your upper spine. So you're really having a nice flat lower back. And now inhale, coming up. And then let's go to laying on our mat. Again, placing the strap around our right foot. We're going to bring the right foot straight up in the air, letting that left leg go long and straight. And you're going to clasp the strap in your left hand. So right foot is up, strap is in the right hand. Airplane the right arm out and slowly bring the right leg across your body. This one can be a little bit difficult. It can really be pulling. We're stretching out our IT band, which is the band that runs from our hip all the way down to our knee. So we're just giving that a nice stretch. It doesn't often get stretched. There's only a few positions that we can do that actually stretches that out, but it's a very important band. It's called the iliotibial band, and it goes all the way from our iliac crest on our hip bone down to our tibia. And it kind of holds everything in. Good. Inhale, coming up. And then you can grab the strap with your right hand and open yourself up. Airplane the left arm out and open yourself up. I can only go so far with the wall being there, but you just let your leg go all the way down to wherever you're comfortable. And just keep breathing. And when you inhale, slowly start to come back up. Now let's just go doing a little bit of a reclined split. So starting to bring that leg towards your head. Trying to keep that left hip down, left leg down, and slowly pulling the leg towards you. One more breath here. Good, release. Let's switch sides. Straightening that right leg out on the ground. Taking the left foot strap in your right hand. Airplane the left arm out and slowly bringing it across the right side of your body. You're not going to be able to go very deep. I don't want that hip lifting right off. You're going to feel the stretch. When you feel the stretch on the outside of your leg, you're stretching that iliotibial band. Another deep breath here. Good. Inhale, it comes up. Switch hands, switch arms. And now bring it open, opening that hip up. Making sure that opposite shoulder stays on the floor. Opposite hip stays on the floor. Inhale, slowly bring that foot back up. Grab the strap with both hands. And again, just gently start to pull it towards your head into a nice reclined split here. Not too hard. You may not even be able to pull it very far. That's okay. One more breath. Release. Good. Let's bring our knees into our chest. And let's go into happy baby. I don't think we've done this one yet. So you're going to open up the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. You're going to grab the outside edges of your feet. And they call this happy baby for obvious reasons. You know, when a baby is happily playing on the ground, they grab their feet, they put their feet in their mouth, they kind of rock and laugh. So this one, obviously, I don't think, if you can put your foot in your mouth, you go right ahead. But I'm not going to do that today. I can't really do that even if I wanted to. But you're going to rock from side to side. And you're just going to let everything kind of relax. Let your hips open. Try not to fall to the side. Sometimes when you're rocking, you end up just rolling right over to the side. And that's what babies do. But we're really just trying to pull our knees down towards the floor. Really trying to open up our hips here. And swaying back side to side. Good. Now let's bring our knees into our chest. Give ourselves a nice hug. Rocking back and forth. And then let's slowly bring ourselves into our Shavasana corpse pose. Getting yourself warm with your blankets, your sweater, your socks, whatever you need to get comfortable in this position. Taking a nice deep breath. Listening to your body and doing whatever it needs to feel totally relaxed. Taking the time to quiet your mind. Today I'm going to leave you with my 3 Ps, as you can see on the wall. Try and live my life with peace, positivity, and passion. I hope you can do the same. Have a beautiful and balanced day. Namaste.